Welcome to the podcast, Beth. I am so thrilled to be able to shed light on the amazing things that not only female entrepreneurs are doing, but military spouses like yourself. So, welcome to the podcast. We're going to dive into so much about balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship, but you've got that added extra layer of responsibility, right?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Angela.
Yeah.
Super excited to be here. Can't wait to jump into it with you. Lots of fun things to talk about.
Yeah, why don't you start from the beginning or give us a little, set the stage for us on how you went from military spouse to franchise executive?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's so good to be here with everybody, Beth Toenies, and I'm really blessed to be able to work for BELFOR Franchise Group. It's an amazing organization. I've been in leadership roles for 16 years or so. It was in my mid-20s before I even met my spouse, who's active duty Navy, that I was president of a different organization. And so it was at that point where I was already busy, knew I wanted a career equally as much as I wanted a family. Like those were two things that I knew I wanted to do together. Then enter military life. And my husband and I, we've been married for 12 years and he's been in the Navy 18 years. So he's a active duty chief and mix in those deployments and it just kind of makes life, it's a good thing I'm so strong, honestly, like independently
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
That's been the kind of the key of how I've been my whole life of being able
Mhm.
to just get up and go. And that's, I think, the secret sauce of a military spouse. And then it really translates really well into anyone's career as well.
Yeah, it really does. And I think military spouses just know how to get it done. They're so resourceful and pragmatic, and it does really translate well. And you talked about how strong you are, and you do have to be strong. But as you and I were talking before we recorded, there is this element of leadership as military spouses that I think we're introduced to that is with us and is a part of our life as being part of a military family that I think also serves us really well too. So, can you tell us about how military life, what it's taught you about leadership, resilience, and also seeing opportunity? Because we have to make a lot of our own opportunity, right?
Yeah, we sure do. And being a military spouse, that's really put the must in being resilient inside of my entire life, not just my career here, right? So there's lots of moves that you could do as a military family. You'll find out that your spouse is being deployed next week and he's going to said country, right? Like, oh, he's going to be in Bahrain.
I can tell you.
That's right. If you and then 24 hours before then, the date changes, the location might change. Maybe he's home for an extra week, and you and the kids have already prepped yourself of, okay, we're going to be without dad for a little while, and I'm like, you're so used to adaptation,
Mhm.
and you're used to your world being flipped upside down that it becomes your normal. It's truly, as a military spouse, you're more equipped to handle the chaos and
Mhm.
know that furniture got lost. Got it. All right. Let's see where's the nearest IKEA and you're looking it up and you really lose the that panic inside of the chaos and that's where that resilience comes out. So as a military spouse, definitely grateful for the resilience that it's given us. You just never quite know what life's going to hand over to you, so being ready for it is a big key.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's something that I really took for granted for the longest time. And then the more that I deal with people in the civilian sector, they're like, what? You're not freaked out? Like you have this element of calm. And it's like,
Great.
I've
Right.
been on the phone with my husband while he's been under attack.
That's right. That's right. And that's been my motto in my career of keep calm and get things done. That's
Right.
just and so much of it can be traced back to this military life. And I'm sure those that are have first responders or others that they're also in a kind of a similar role where you
Yeah.
think you're going to have Thanksgiving together. Nope. You think you're going to have Christmas with the kids and all of a sudden it's turned around. And so
Right.
you put one foot in front of the other, you remain calm and you
Yeah.
figure out a way through it.
Yeah, you do. And so you have the extra responsibilities in life that a lot of moms and individuals don't have. And then you're so interconnected with business. And we have to ask ourselves, can you still be a present mom and also run a business and be a part of that? So, what are your thoughts on that?
Great question. And yes, Angela, yes, yes, yes. You can absolutely be a present mom and a successful entrepreneur, run your own business with the right support, with the
Right.
right systems, that right process. It's 100% dependent on that right opportunity. And so that's why it's so critical for women, men too, but
Hmm.
across the country to really realize that very start, that choice of what business, what industry, what franchise group like ours to go with, right?
Hmm.
That's going to be the most critical decision that you can make,
Hmm.
even more so
Hmm.
than the specific business, right? So, okay,
Hmm.
I want to go into home services industries, right? Like, what should I do? Really making sure that you have that right balance. That's key. You can absolutely be present. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You,
Oh,
as
yeah.
moms, like we kind of carry this mom guilt around where working can't be everywhere at once. So you're going to have sacrifices both ways, but you can do it.
Yeah, I think it just takes a lot of intention
Mhm.
and a lot of a focus. But it sounds like, in particular, your franchise group may offer a lot of support. So, what are those things that would help someone to decide that that would be a good fit? Or what should they be looking for that gives them the green light that, okay, I can do this?
Well, there's really several things that happen, and I can speak on behalf of our franchise group where we ensure you might come into us and know we have 15 amazing brands that are out
Hmm.
there. Have like
Hmm.
the Chem Dry, 1-800 Water Damage, the 1-800 Board Up, the Cool Bins, Junk Co. We have all of these amazing name brands that are inside ours, but you don't have to know which one. We'll actually help you answer that. So
Hmm.
we have like experts who are to help guide you based on your personality, based on a lot of other factors, what
Hmm.
might be the best fit for you. So that's the first key is
Hmm.
knowing like inside of a franchise group, the way that we're set up is just it's perfect for someone who doesn't know everything. And let's face it, who does, right?
Hmm.
Who does?
Right.
The other thing that I would say is absolutely critical if you're looking to join or start any type of business is to see the success pattern.
Hmm.
That's the beauty of a franchise is you get to
Hmm.
see the numbers. They're
Hmm.
reported, they're mandatory, they're
Hmm.
in something called an FDD, a franchise disclosure document. You can take a
Hmm.
look and see here's what the average franchisee is making 700,000 and you look at yourself, well, you need 5 employees, you're doing the math. That means I probably after costs of overhead and things probably would only make about 50,000. Is that really what I want to do? Right? So you can really take a look and see
Right.
the margins. It's black and white. It's not a black hole. So at the BELFOR Franchise Group side, it really tries to simplify it. And that's the
Hmm.
great thing about it
Hmm.
is we are able to be entrepreneurs and run our own business and have that flexibility to make those calls, but you're never alone. You have that support
Hmm.
system, that process that's helping. I don't know, all in all, we have about 1,500 franchise locations in across North America. And so all of those this system works and it's not just you opening up your own bake shop where you have no idea
Hmm.
how it's going to operate
Right.
or go. That's what really has made a big difference inside the lives of so many people.
Wow. That sounds like it's really valuable to be able to tap into that insight. Like, so you would be able to take somebody and evaluate like what their financial goal is,
Yes.
what their time capacity is,
Yes.
where they're living, and all those types of things, and go, okay, here's what we think your best options are.
Absolutely. And that's we have some people that even come to us and they're like, we want to move from Tucson, Arizona to Peoria. What
Mhm.
opportunities might you have there? Don't know the area. So we are the experts where we can really take a look and see what the markets look like in different areas,
Hmm.
what the coverage, how many households you might be
Hmm.
serving each of these,
Yeah.
what the median income is in those, right?
Right.
And so you can get a really healthy mix inside your market. But yes, that's what our experts are for. It's really been incredible seeing it
Mm-hmm.
from the franchise development side of all of the ways that BELFOR Franchise Group helps you choose the right fit for you.
Hmm.
It's incredible.
That's really interesting. And for anybody who's listening and is not really acquainted with anything related to franchises, There really is this kind of equation that goes into where franchise is and the median income and what the foot traffic is like in a certain place and what other businesses are around and things like that. That is really helpful. It's not like you just go, okay, I want to start a franchise and
That's right.
you're throwing spaghetti at the wall.
And it really it provides that foundation for you, and
Mhm,
also what's made 200 other franchisees
mhm.
successful. You see the playbook, you're following the same thing. So that's why, truthfully, they kind of call it like a business in a box, like for a franchise, but it's so
Oh,
much more. But we do, like
mhm.
here's the box
Yeah,
of, all right, we're gonna let's do a carpet cleaning company, right? And so instead
yeah.
of you going out and trying to hire people on your own, we're guiding you of here's the right profile fit, that this is what you want your sales manager to be. If you need some
Mhm,
water mitigation experts, here's what they should be. And based
mhm,
upon the different brand that you choose, help guide. So it takes the guesswork out of it. That's what I'm saying.
mhm,
Like, this is truthfully for women looking
mhm,
to become entrepreneurs.
mhm,
This is the way of the future. I think that you're going to start seeing a lot more, specifically female owners who are looking to kind of balance it all. This is
mhm.
for them. It's a
Yeah.
really smart idea.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you to talk a little bit more why this model is particularly great for women. And I imagine maybe one of the perks is that you don't have to have like extensive experience in one area or another, or even business to be able to proceed with opening a
Well,
franchise.
and honestly, yes, you don't have to have your certifications out, right? You don't have to be a certified HVAC technician and go into that
Right.
industry. It's really, you're
Mhm.
able to see it. So I'll kind of pinpoint one of our brands that we have seen so successful for women coming in and running
Oh,
those franchise
awesome.
locations. It's Blue Kangaroo Packouts. And so this particular one, it's not a 24/7 where you're going and waking up at 2 a.m. and going on scene. We have several brands where it is that you're
Out.
required literally to get up and go the moment of
Mhm.
a fire, right? Like you've got
Right.
to respond and help take care of those victims. This
Mm.
one, you're able to be a little bit more selective and make appointments during those work hours. You're working with, say, restoration companies instead of specifically just the homeowners, like your
Mhm.
marketing a little bit different. And then it's also tedious work that
Mhm.
requires, and this is why women have thrived in this
Mhm.
particular brand. It
Mhm.
requires attention to detail, where
Mm.
someone's going in and they're counting a bunch of, there's 16 different forks and there's 30 knives and they're counting
Mm.
them, putting them in. So it
Mhm.
really allows you to oversee a staff also that can be mainly women. You can have a
Mm.
great mix of both, but that's the Blue Kangaroo Packouts. That's been one that we've seen women just thrive in. I've got a particular woman in mind who just,
Yeah.
she's expanding so much, and it's awesome.
That's really wonderful to hear, and I love that you've already got this example in mind. And especially now, I think so many people don't want to return to office. Since COVID, we've had this new focus on I don't want to miss my kids' soccer games anymore
Yes.
or
Yes.
whatnot.
Yep.
And so more and more people are considering maybe I should start my own business. Maybe I should figure this out. And there's a lot of economic uncertainty right now and things like that. And I think people are just wanting more control of their futures. And this is a really interesting way that you can. So, what do you think some are the key questions that moms and women should ask before they start investing in a business?
So I would definitely look at like some of the financials. Absolutely love the franchising world. And I know it's something you typically won't really hear that word of, like, oh, is it a franchise, a Subway, or something like that.
Mm,
That might be what
right.
comes to our mind, but there's so
Hmm.
many amazing businesses out there. And I want to say too, the type of industry you choose is going
Hmm.
to be key if you're really looking at building a legacy, something
Hmm.
you want to work in it for more than 3 or 6 years. Like, you're looking
Hmm.
at building a legacy potentially to pass down to kids or to sell at some,
Hmm.
right? Like, you
Yeah.
really want an industry that is going to be able to utilize AI also and be able
Hmm.
to capitalize on all of the ways that the market's going to change. Technology is going to become better, and it won't lessen your market share, but
Hmm.
strengthen it. So I would definitely take a look at the industry. I would also suggest looking at an industry such as like the home services side, where there's fires that's not going to stop. There's
Right.
floods that come in. There's all sorts of where you're still going to need your ducts cleaned no matter what. I
Right.
think looking at some of those trends of that's going to be needed, and you won't have a robot coming in to give a homeowner a hug after their, I don't know, their ceiling opened up and all of a sudden
Hmm.
water's pouring into their bedroom. You won't be able to have that same connection. So definitely look at the type of
Hmm.
industry that's going to have that longevity. You can step in and know that you're building a legacy business, not
Hmm.
just one that's just here for the short term. You'll
Yeah.
be able to see what's been successful and know it can carry to the future.
Yeah, I think that's so important right now too. Everybody is afraid of like AI taking their job, and you don't want to then create this business that is going to not have that longevity that you mentioned. And yeah, those trades are always going to be so important, and a robot can't replace you. And doing some of those things that we're always going to need in our lives. So that's a really key point. So also maybe talk about some of the structure and systems that are in franchises that also I think, like I mentioned, if somebody was interested in starting a franchise and has no business background, what are some of the things that are support there for them so they don't feel like they're just walking in the dark?
Out on your own, for sure. And that could be a scary feeling. And let me tell
Right.
you, one of the things that I absolutely adore about how the training is set up at BELFOR Franchise Group, like depending upon your brand, lots of the training you get to do virtually, like even for an hour a day. You
Mm-hmm.
go for a 5 day or 2 week, 3 week training inside
Hmm.
our incredible facility in Ann Arbor, Michigan. You get to do a lot of it at home. So we're not pulling you away for six
Oh,
months for training. So that's the biggest thing I really want to say. Like,
great
you
point.
don't have to be scared that you're going to miss a big part of your kids'
Right.
lives because you're choosing this. But some of the
Hmm.
other system structures, we have a program, Jumpstart, that actually takes you through after you've said, I want to buy 1-800 water damage. All right. So you've committed to it. You're working on your financials. You're working on insurance. This Jumpstart coach works with you throughout that next stage of helping you achieve all of those onboarding tasks. So they
Okay.
will help you choose the right insurance policy. They will help you choose the correct uniforms. That's your dedicated person to help you through that. It's still the beginning section, right, of
Right.
business, but it's different than just running your business. That setup. I would
Mm-hmm.
absolutely make sure if you're going into any type of business, you're looking to start something, that you're going to be working with someone who has a
Hmm.
built set of systems and processes, and then they're there to be able to walk you through it, not just to sell you the business, right? Like, not just
Right.
to sell it, but you want
Yeah.
to be able to be supported. And
Hmm.
that's what we have regional business coaches in every
Hmm.
single one of our brands. And those are, it's someone who has actually done that business. A lot of them are actually prior franchisees that are the regional business coaches. They're experts in their field. And so we have those individuals supporting our current franchise. So
Hmm.
you need to ensure versus you kind of going off and doing it on your own, right? Like you'd have to find your own mentor. We say, here's
That's
someone who
awesome.
has been successful. And again, you can reach out to any of the other franchisees at any time that are going, but this is the person that's going to help you walk that journey to success. So you never have to feel alone.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, because I that is so scary
Yeah. Yeah.
to even think about. But yeah, I love that. So maybe what are some tips you might have for somebody who's listening and they're like, okay, I think this sounds interesting to me. How can somebody determine what are they ready? What are some of the time availability and finances
Yeah.
and some of the long-term goals that somebody might want to have in mind?
Absolutely. So the standard kind of like investment going into a franchise brand, you're going to need some sort of liquidity. So that doesn't mean that you have to have 500,000 in your bank account. Like who has
Mhm.
that, right? We're all kind of paycheck to paycheck trying to make it work and make the best lives for our kids. And so looking for a brand that will help work with you on an initial investment stage, but they also have the wherewithal to help provide the specific direction you should go. That's what the big key is. So my biggest tip here is to choose the right, I won't even say brand, but the right like franchise group like ours where we'll help coach you and walk you through. You don't need to be intimidated by the money. You don't need to be intimidated by your credit score or not sure how you're going to read 112 pages of documents. Like someone is going to be there to walk you through each and every stage as you look through it, so you won't be
Mm,
alone during any part of the process. So just
mhm,
ensure that you're at a time in your life where you can really devote to business. I'm not saying you'll be 80 hours a week, but it'll definitely be those first 2 years of business is where you have to put the most effort into it because you're
mhm,
growing it, especially if it's a new business in that market, not like a
mhm,
so
mm.
you'll need to make sure for those first 2 years you're ready to roll up your sleeves and understand that you're going to have to really put a little bit of extra effort in there, but you
Mm,
also have that trait of being assertive enough to have to ask for the business from others. That's the other kind
mhm,
of thing that I would say is ensure that you're, in most cases, you're going to be working with other people.
mhm,
Ensure that you're at that spot where you're a good communicator and you've got that level
mhm,
of assertiveness. And then us, the majority of women, like we kind of come with a little bit of an empathy card as well, and that makes us
mhm.
enormously successful in the business, in our industry, in home services.
Yeah.
That's something that really sets us apart. And so that's a big
Mhm,
benefit as well, simply
mhm.
being us.
I love that point. And so many times we think because we're a mom, we can't do X, Y, or Z. But really, that can be your fuel for what helps you to succeed.
Yes.
So I love that you brought that up. But, even if we have the time to dedicate and we have the financial resources and we have the structure and the support, sometimes one of the biggest things that's in our way in our businesses is our mindset, right?
That's what I was gonna say. I wasn't sure where you were going, but I was about to be like, it's our
Yeah.
mind. I can tell you as a senior executive with Belfour Franchise Group, it's hard maintaining both career and family. I want to. I want
Right.
to work and exercise my intellectual capacity.
Hmm.
I like the mental puzzles outside of just the home. And
Right.
so if that's something that you have, any of the listeners, like that's you've got that itch of wanting to do more than being inside the home, which is
Hmm.
already a big enough job.
Yeah,
If you're
right.
looking for something else
Yeah.
to intellectually stimulate your
Hmm.
mind outside of just the home or the family, which again, it's already enough of a lift. But
Right.
if you are, this is going to be a good option for you.
Most of my listeners are growth minded. They're looking to expand their how they perceive things and their opportunities as well. Are there any other kind of mindset shifts that you've kind of encountered that you think might be important for somebody listening to maybe check themselves and make sure that they've got you deserve to be there, you deserve to be a business owner, you deserve to be profitable, those things.
Absolutely. Well, so many of us carry around anxiety or other things that are feeding into our mind. I mentioned a little bit earlier, like the mom guilt of may not be able
Yeah.
to make it to every soccer game, but I can make it to 11 out of the 19. I'm going to
Hmm.
pick the home ones and rearrange my schedule to make sure grandma will be there. Like there's definitely going to be that level of, truthfully, I've dealt with it, of mom guilt or anxiety because it's not to be in every place at the same time, but you can make it work. So it's
Right.
thinking through, prioritizing. I always say take a deep breath, like walk into the situation calmly, kind of like when you see I don't know, you call 911 and then you see
Hmm.
an EMT or paramedic coming up. In most cases, they're not going to be running to you. They're walking, they're assessing the scene, they're picking up critical details that they would have missed if they're rushing in. So
Yeah.
take some deep breaths, clear your mind, know that those are just fears or worries,
Hmm.
insecurity. Look at viable businesses and know you've got this. You rock. You've got that personality. You've got the grit, right?
Hmm.
Even if you come upon a dead end, you're not giving up. You're saying, all right, let's look at the other way that I could go about this. What this won't work. How about this way? And so if
Yeah.
you've got that mindset, then it's definitely, I think that being a mompreneur here is for you.
Yeah, I love that. And so, what are maybe some of those things that would be green flags for somebody to know that franchising is for them?
Yeah, so definitely have that attention to detail. You're looking to be successful, but not create all of your own things and your own systems and processes. So that's the thing. You're looking to grow. Typically, you're going to grow quicker inside a franchise. Like typically, because we have the steps in place and proven models, it really takes away the guesswork and that mental load that we carry of what
Mm.
about the 119 things that I've got to do, right? What about my to-do list? And it really helps because
Yeah.
it's automated and proven. So if you're
Hmm.
thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, you are wondering if you've got what it takes, if you've got that grit, that resilience of keeping and driving forward, and you have that ability to really be flexible and wear several different hats, then franchise model is really the way to go because it helps remove so much of that mental load or guesswork as you're
Hmm.
walking into entrepreneurship.
Yeah. That's really fascinating. It sounds like there are so many benefits, especially as a new business owner, that would benefit you and shorten the learning curve.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Yes. Yeah. And you're not
Uh,
doing it on your own. That's what's so
yeah.
amazing about it.
I love that. All right. I mean, Beth, if you had any encouraging words for listeners who are ready to step into their next season of growth, what would you say to them?
Yeah, so first off, you're amazing. You're great with what you do. You are who you are. If you're looking into your next step, that's wonderful. That means that you've built yourself to the place that you are. So take a little pat on the back now, then take a deep breath as you're looking forward, and it's time to be at like a calm, logical place while you're looking for what's the right opportunity.
Hmm.
And friends, really look at the group or the industry that you're going into and
Yeah.
ensure that it's one that has a lot of, I don't know, even recession resistance built
Right.
into it, right? So
Yeah.
look and see, do I really want to start a cupcake shop or do I want to build a carpet cleaning program that I know has been around 70 years and has only continued to rise? So take that deep breath, take that step back,
Hmm.
take a look around you while you're walking in. You've got it. We have absolutely the capability of being incredible entrepreneurs, and we're really more empathetic while we do it too, which really helps tee us up for success.
Wow, you're such a great cheerleader for female entrepreneurs. I love it. Thank you so much. If there's one takeaway from this conversation, I think it's just being mindful about whatever business that you're in or want to start and the level of support you need, the time that you have to commit to it, and what kind of goals do you have financially and also for your lifestyle. I think that that's just fundamental to any business. So I love that. And I love the opportunity to not only shine a light on you and all that you're juggling as a military spouse, but to give listeners an opportunity if they are not sure what they want to start or they're looking for a new opportunity. It just seems like a great resource. So, where can listeners connect with you and learn more?
Yeah, so check our website out, belforfranchisegroup.com. Also, love if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn. Would absolutely love the connections and we can stay in touch that way.
Yeah.
But Belfor Franchise Group has all of the information about the different brands. And again, you don't have to know what it is you want to do. You'll really rely on us as the experts to guide you through because we know by profiling what it
Hmm.
is that helps make the right person successful per brand.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Beth, so much. It's been wonderful talking to you, and I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks.